Have you ever wondered why the birds in your yard seem to show up so often? Not once, not twice, but almost every single day. A few perch on the fence, a few settle on the same familiar branches, and some seem to appear at the exact moment you step outside. At first it feels like a coincidence, but what scientists are discovering is far more remarkable. Many birds don't just remember where food is. They remember faces, they remember routines, and they remember how individual people treat them, which means there's a very good chance the birds around your home recognized you a long time ago. Today, we're going to explore 8 signs that the birds in your yard may know exactly who you are. And the final sign is something that caused many researchers to rethink what they believed about bird intelligence and memory. So stay with me until the very end, because after what you're about to hear, you may never look at the birds outside your window the same way again. And if you love nature and enjoy discovering the hidden secrets of the bird world, make sure to subscribe now, because the most fascinating part of this story is still ahead. Sign Hasson, they leave something behind. Let's begin with something strange. Many people who regularly feed birds tell a similar story. One day they notice something unusual: a small pebble, a button, a shiny piece of metal, an unusually beautiful feather. And what makes it even stranger is this: these objects often appear exactly where food is usually left. At first, they assume it's just a coincidence. Then it happens again, and again, and again. Researchers who study crows and jays have documented similar reports for years. Science can't yet say with certainty that these are gifts in the human sense of the word. But one thing is clear: these birds know exactly who is helping them, and they appear to respond in their own unique way. So if you've ever found a mysterious object near your bird feeder, take a moment and think about it. Was it really random? Or could it have meant something more? Sing #2, they appear the moment you step outside. You haven't opened the bird feeder. You haven't made a sound. You haven't done anything at all. And yet, the birds are already there, waiting. This happens far more often than most people realize. Studies have shown that many bird species are capable of learning human routines. They know when you usually come outside, when you water the garden, when you refill the feeder, when you sit on the porch with your morning coffee. Over time, they begin to anticipate your arrival. Much like we expect the sun to rise each morning, in their minds, you have become part of the landscape, part of the rhythm of their day. And that's actually something quite remarkable. Sin #3. They always know where you are. Try something tomorrow. Take a slow walk around your yard, from the back door to the flower bed, then over to the far corner of the garden, and pay close attention. You may notice certain birds constantly adjusting their position, not to fly away, but to keep you in sight. A cardinal turns toward you. A sparrow hops to a different branch. A blue jay tilts its head in the direction you're moving. They're watching, not because they're afraid, but because you're a familiar part of their environment. And what you do matters to them. Before we continue, I want to ask you a very simple question. Have you ever felt like a bird seemed to recognize you? If your answer is yes, comment yes below. If you've never experienced that, comment no. I genuinely love to hear your story. Sin #4. The sounds around you have changed. There's a secret most people never notice. Every yard has its own soundtrack, and that soundtrack changes depending on who shows up. When a stranger walks into the area, many birds immediately switch to alarm calls. Short, sharp, urgent, designed to warn others that something unfamiliar is nearby. But when a familiar person appears, everything is different. The birds keep singing. They keep feeding. They go on with their day as if nothing has changed. If that happens in your yard, the birds have already made their decision. They trust you. Sing #5. They notice the smallest changes. A new hat, a different colored jacket, an unfamiliar gardening tool. You think they don't notice? Think again. Many birds are incredibly observant. They pick up on details that most people would completely overlook. That's why a familiar bird may suddenly stare at you a little longer than usual. Not because it forgot who you are, but because it noticed something different. Something has changed. And it's updating its information, much like the way we instantly notice when a friend gets a new haircut. Sin#6 word about you spreads. This is where things become truly fascinating. Studies on crows have shown that they can learn from one another. If one crow identifies a person as dangerous, other crows can learn that information too, even if they've never encountered that person themselves. So what does that mean? It means your reputation may exist in the bird world. If you're gentle, if you regularly leave food out, if you've never given them a reason to be afraid, there's a good chance that more than one bird knows it. In fact, an entire local bird community may know it. And that's a remarkable thing to think about. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, take a second to hit subscribe. Every week we explore the hidden lives of birds and uncover some of the most fascinating stories in nature. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Sin#7, they remember your face. This is one of the most fascinating discoveries in bird research. Many bird species can recognize human faces. Not your clothes, not your voice, not the car you drive. Your face. They know who has frightened them in the past, and they know who makes them feel safe. Some studies suggest these memories can last for years. Just think about that for a moment. A small creature that most people assume lives purely on instinct may remember exactly who you are. Sin#8. They appear during life's most unforgettable moments. I've read hundreds of stories from bird lovers over the years. And what's remarkable is this. So many of those stories begin the same way. Not on the happiest days of their lives, but on the hardest ones. The day they lost someone they loved. The day they felt completely alone. The day the house suddenly seemed quieter than it had ever been before. The day they sat alone on the porch, with no desire to talk to anyone. And then, a bird appeared. Maybe it was a cardinal, a robin, or a small sparrow. It didn't bring a miracle. It didn't carry a message. It simply showed up, perched on a fence, a windowsill, or the nearest branch. And somehow, that moment stayed with them. They stopped. They looked. They felt something. And for a few brief seconds, they didn't feel quite so alone. Perhaps science still has much to learn about human emotion. But science has already proven something important. Birds recognize us. They remember us. They can tell one person from another. And once you understand that, those seemingly ordinary encounters begin to feel a little more extraordinary. Because sometimes, what makes a moment unforgettable isn't what the bird does. It's the feeling it leaves behind. And who knows? The next time a bird quietly lands a little closer than usual, it may not be a coincidence at all. It may simply be a small wild creature, recognizing a familiar face. The next time you step into your yard, take a closer look. There may be a bird watching you from a nearby branch, and chances are, it isn't just seeing a human being. It's seeing you, a familiar face, a familiar presence, a part of its everyday world. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had a special experience with a wild bird? If you have, share your story in the comments below. I read every single comment. And sometimes, the most amazing stories come from people just like you. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. That simple click helps us continue sharing the incredible stories hidden within the natural world. Because in our next video, we'll uncover another fascinating secret from the world of birds that most people have never heard before. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. And remember, you may be watching the birds, but there's a very good chance they've been watching you too.